Legion arrive in force. So Manius Calgar himself led his fleet into the void to intercept the incoming Black Legion warships, trying to bar them access to Vigilus, but Abaddon has proven to be one step ahead. So in the battle above, the War Master unleashed hordes of demons on the blockade and defeated the defence from the inside out, bypassing them with ease. And in this attack, Calgar fell at the hands and claws of a Keeper of Secrets, and he's now at death's door. So this dire news is being kept from the populace, and instead they're told stories of success, shouting down continuing vox assaults and horrible truths Heartland World Claimer has been feeding the populace with. So Abaddon personally chooses to strike and lay out the truth. The time for propaganda and words is over. The people of Vigilus will see the despoiler with their own eyes. So we are playing a custom mission just for fun. It's a narrative game, so forget all the match play stuff. This is strictly story based. So what we're going to do is we've got the attacking force, the Black Legion, and the defenders, the Ultramarines. Basically the defenders have got to survive. The Black Legion are going to try and make them bleed. The game's going to be variable game length, and all the Ultramarines have to do is just have one survivor. And once again we're going to be playing Cities of Death extra rules. This is found in your chapter approved 2018, and we're using all the stuff just about. So we've got obscured targets. If you're 50% the entire unit, you're a -1 to hit, but 6s are always hits. Height advantage we play as well, so if you're on a level above and you're shooting down, you get an extra AP to your weapon, extra 1. Streets and roads, so you get extra 3 inches if you stay on the road. And hard and soft cover, so pretty much everything on the board here is hard cover, so you're going to get a +2 to your cover save. So if you've got a lot of terrain, I'll definitely recommend giving these rules a go, because they are very good. And the deployment we went for is Spearhead Assault, so it's the arrowhead kind of setup there. So the Ultramarines, since Manius has gone down, the person who's in charge of the Ultramarines for now is the captain in Gravis armour just under there. He's been upgraded to a chapter master to fill the big shoes, the Gravis boots of Manius. So he's under there, he's got a range of characters. He's got a lieutenant next to him, he's got a librarian, an ancient. Ancient's got the banner of the Emperor Ascendant, and of course the captain's also got a Santic halo as well, so an extra relic for them. And we've got the brand new infiltrators upstairs, aggressors at the back, and intercessor unit there, 5, and then there's 2 units of intercessors in the repulsor. There's the Dread, of course. The repulsor's got all of the onslaught cannon array. We have hellblasters at the back here, and then upon high we've got another lieutenant, an apothecary, and centurions with all of the mighty firepower, so las cannons and centurion missile launchers. These are the ones to look out for. These ignore cover if the sergeant's alive, and that's big in a game of city fight. So the Black Legion, we've got Viliox the Deranged. He's the renegade knight there. We've got 2 units of cultists, one with auto guns, one's with hand-to-hand weapons. 2 hellbrutes, one with a las cannon and whip thing. One with double fist and flamers in each palm. Got a brand new squad of havocs at the back there. They have got an okay line of sight, a bit pushed back because of the deployment, and we've got a unit of 6 of the what are called Chaos Marines. And on this side we've got a unit of 5 Terminators, 3 Combi Plasmas, Lightning Claws, and the Reaper Autocannon. And then we've got Abaddon's second in command. There he is. He's a sorcerer, he's not marked, and he's, as you see there, so he's got warp time and prescience, and he's also got an extra warlord trait, which is a new Black Legion set of stratagems out of Vigilus Ablaze. So he's got the warlord trait to get command points back on a 5, exactly like the Ultramarines have. So that costs a command point to do. And then in the Rhino here we have 6 more Chaos Space Marines. These are hand-to-hand variant, so plasma pistol, plasma gun, and then we've also got an aspiring champion in there as well. He's not an aspiring champion, he's better than that, he's an exalted champion. So he's just the one, as you see, as he's modelled. Power axe, combi melter. Okay, and just to summarise, everything's going to have the Mark of Slanesh except the sorcerer, and the people in the Rhino, they're going to have the Mark of Khorne. So as the baddie, the Black Legion player, if you're going to be the bad guy, you'd be the ultimate bad guy. So we've got a lot of stuff off the board, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's going to be a surprise as it arrives. Because this is quite a large game, we're going to summarise most of the things that go on and keep the story rolling on. So the Ultramarines are going to have the first turn. We're going to hand off to them because we're not going to steal the initiative, because we're just not going to do that. The Ultramarines have got the defensive positions all worked out. They're just waiting for the inevitable arrival of chaos, and here it is.
Okay, so the Ultramarines got forward here, some got out of here, 2 squads, and the squad that was down here moved into the archway to get a direct shot at the cultists there. Everyone else stayed still, and the librarian down here, he did the Might Heroes on the repulsor.
Right, so that's now at toughness 9, big problems. And of course, not forgetting the Centurions, they stay still, a good line of sight on that Renegade Knight. Alright, so the Ultramarines have started shooting, so it's all the small arms fire, and including the Dreadnought. So this squad fired at the shooting autogun squad of cultists, killed 4, and then the rest of the shots, so that's all the intercessors underneath and the Dreadnought, fired through the gap in the building, through the archway, and totally wiped out that hand-to-hand cultist unit there. So they totally wiped out, and they won't be able to use Tide of Traitors, so that's total wipe out there. Now we're going on to this new unit up here, so we thought we'll get this on camera because it's a brand new unit that we've never used before. So the infiltrators, they're going to fire through the windows at this Chaos Space Marine squad on the other side. So with City Fight in play, they are obscured because of the windows, so they're at a -1. So 4's to hit, but any 6's are automatic wounds. That's their special business, and look at that, debut shooting. Reroll 1s and 2s because of the captain underneath, the chapter master upgrade. So 3 misses, so let's take out those 6's first and foremost.
Oh,
because so there's 4 6's, they automatically wound, so we're going to have to save those, but we'll just do them all at the same time. Our saves, that is. And there's an extra 3 wounds, so there's 3 wounds, natural wounds. Then how many was that? 4 6's? Wow. Okay, good first shooting from these. There's 7 wounds on the Chaos Marines behind the wall, so we're saving on 2s with these because we're in hard cover and we fail 2. Not a good start. Right, we're going to have the Centurions. They're going to fire down at the meaty stuff of the Black Legion. So because it's big guns, this is crucial dice rolling. So we're going to have 4 las cannons on the Renegade Knight. We are going to rotate ion shields to give us a 4+ invuln. There's 2 las cannons going on the Hellbrute and all of the Centurion rockets onto the Hellbrute. He just wants to see that small guy off straight away.
Okay, so the rockets, number of shots D3.
So this is D3 each time, so 6. They're all getting 2 shots. So 6 shots. And 3's to hit. And so there's 3's to hit, well actually 4's to hit because I am obscured. They do ignore cover, but obscured still does apply, even ignore cover rules. But they still hit because he rolled 5's and 6's there. So on we go, 5 wounds there, needing 5 hits, wounding on 3's, should I say. Oh, that's a bit of a blunder. So he does have a lieutenant up high, and that's 4. That's good. So these are D3 damage each and AP -2. So because they ignore cover, my hard cover isn't going to count. So I'm saving on 5's AP -2. We'll fill all of them. So it's D3 damage each time. Could knock out a Hellbrute in one go here. So you might as well just do 4 dice and D3 a pop. 8 wounds on a Hellbrute, so that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hellbrute goes down. Does he explode? No. Alright, so there's the hole where the Hellbrute was. So now we've got 4 las cannons at the Renegade Knight. So we'll have rotated iron shield. Let's see if we get the command point back. We do not, so we spent a command point. So here we've got 4 las cannons. And there's 2 hits. And 3's to wound. Because we've strength 8. Reroll 1s because of the lieutenant up high. And he gets them both right. 4's to save on our invulnerable save. We get 1. Do we want a command point reroll it? I think not. We're just going to let that go.
Damage.
Damage, D6. It's a 4. 4 damage. So we've moved on to the repulsor, so it's fired all of its weaponry at these cultists down here and killed 12 cultists with full rerolls all around with the 2 characters, but the 2 las cannons have been dedicated for the Renegade Knight. So 2 las cannons with the full reroll ability. So gets 2 hits, doesn't need the Chapter Master in the end. 3s to wound. Gets them both, doesn't need the Lieutenant either. Alright, Ion Shields to the rescue. 4s. Go on. We fail one, and we're going to command point reroll this. Yes, pass them both. Bounce off those corrupted ion technology. So that's the end of Ultramarines turn 1. Over to the Black Legion. At the end of the Ultramarines move, it's worth mentioning that the cultists all did run away. We don't want to save them. There's no point of tied of traitors and them. There's too many command points and they're ineffective. So everyone strides forward. Here comes the Renegade Knight. He's bearing down. So he is within 18 melter range of the tank. It's big news. The Hellbrood here, he runs out. He's gone 13 inches through the archway and he's going to try and get close to the Ultramarines and try and get through a load of firepower. Havocs stay at the back. They have actually got a line of sight through all the windows and archway up at these obliterators, so we're going to have to wish them luck. They're going to be a -1 to hit, and these are in hard cover. It's a hard ask, but they've got las cannons. And on this side, the Terminators, they run that far forward, and the Rhino, that moves flat out as well, manages 14 inches. So the Sorcerer has stayed still. The reason is we're going to try and summon some demons because it's a narrative game and we are the bad guys, so we'll do the bad guy thing and summon some demons. So we're going to roll 3 dice and that is the power level of what we can summon into the game. So we have a 10 power level there. Okay, and for 10 power level we've got ourselves 20 bloodletters. So I hear people say out there that it's not fair. And
it's not fair!
And you'd be right. We're the bad guys and we don't care. So we do our psychic phase, we've warp timed ourselves forward and we'll put prescience on the Havocs. So these are the perks of being the bad guys. You just have no conscience and you love it. Okay, so shooting phase, we open up with the Terminators over there. Because the Black Legion, you can fire your rapid fire weapons off as assault weapons. So we did, we fired up and we're hitting on 5s and we've got 2 hits and killed one of those brand new infiltrators. So one of them's down. And we fired some bolt guns from this window, didn't do anything. Actually it was down at this unit, didn't do anything. And now it's time for the big night. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the special stratagem. It's 2 command points, so let's see if we get the command points back. We do not, so spend 2. And we're going to reroll all failed hit rolls in the shooting phase for this. So we're going to have the thermal cannon at the tank. Remember this is toughness 9 because of Might of Heroes. So thermal cannon at the tank. We're going to have the rockets at this squad down here and the melter gun at this squad down here. So here we go, let's do the melter gun first. And he's hit, needs a 2, gets it. There's no save there because it's AP -4. And we've killed one. So there's 1 intercessor dead out that unit. And let's do the rockets. 3s to hit, all hit. 2s to wound at strength 8. They all wound, so you save on 5s for these. And they all fail. So the first one is damage 2, that kills 1, doesn't kill 1. Right, here we go, thermal cannon from the Renegade Knight. So we're going to have to see how many shots we get out of this. We are within 18, so these are double dice as well for damage. Oh, we're getting the full complement. That's exciting, exciting stuff. So we'll get an extra dice here. Right, so we're hitting on 3s. And we'll reroll hits because of that stratagem that we just played. Right, there's 5, but here's the hard part. We're strength 9, but he's got Might of Heroes, so needing 4s to wound. Oh, there's 2. Do we 50-50 it with the command point reroll? I think we do. Gonna have to try and knock this out. Oh, it's failed. See if we get a command point back. We do not. We're not getting any command points back, but it's AP -4, so no save there, and we are in double dice range, so pick the best out of 2 dice here. So we'll take the 5 and 2 dice here. We'll take the 5, so there's 10 damage. Right, last things to shoot. We've got the 4 Havocs with the las cannons at the back. We're going to fire 2 at the repulsor because that's all we can see, so 2 at them, and then the other 2 at the obliterators upstairs. So these have got prescient, so we won't be feeling the effects of them being obscured. So we're hitting on 4s against this first. And we get 1 hit. We're needing a 4 to wound because it's toughness 9 these days. It does wound, so you are more than 50% covered off all the intervening terrain, so it's actually going to work out at AP -1 because of the hard cover. So you're saving on a 4. And he saves, not a problem. Right, up the Centurions now with these last 2 las cannons. 4s to hit, actually it's 3s to hit, sorry. Only got 1 hit. Needs a 3, we'll get it. Again, it's only AP -1 because of the hard cover. So saving on a 3 with these Centurions. And he's done it again. So straight on the charge phase, the Knight is going to charge in on these. We've done Overwatch, nothing happened. And we've got a 5-inch charge to make. Which we do with flying colours on the 10. Right, so we've moved our 10, we've piled in 3, so we're trying to get around the back a little bit. And we're going to stomp them to death, of course. So we've got 12 attacks. And that's pretty good. We did think about using our rerolls, but we thought we'd just chance it without. And strength 8, so 2s to wound. Oh, a few slip from the net there, so there's that many. You just want to roll those. That's 7, AP -2, so these need 5s to save to go away, but that is 5. So we could take out the unit if we roll well on the D3. So the first one is killed, second one is also killed, third one's killed, fourth one is killed, almost a wipeout. It is a wipeout, whole squad is dead. So the Knight then piles into the nearest unit, it happens to be that unit on the wall, and gets into combat with them, so they can fight back. Right, 2 wounds dealt out from the Marines actually, so we're going to have to save on 3s for the Knight, and we'll take another wound. So we've got 19 wounds remaining on this Knight. Okay, that's the end of the Black Legion's turn 1. It's looking good. We're encroaching on the Ultramarines' defences. Okay, the Ultramarines turn 2 and they start to move up into the build, and everyone's getting off the ground floor to see the Dreadnought come, and they don't want any part of that, so they all come up to the top level with good shooting fields of fire for themselves. And then the injured squad over here, there's 2 left, they got back into the repulsor along with the captain and the ancient, so they're in their transport now. They're trying to evacuate the wounded, and it's in a bad shape itself, that vehicle as well. So the Dreadnought has moved in for the kill. He's going to shoot first and try and wring the neck of the Renegade Knight. And he's got help of the Librarian because he's done the Psychic phase as well. He's done Might of Heroes, so it's got an extra attack, extra strength and all that gubbins. And he also did Smite. Perils on Might of Heroes, but it was a 6/6 peril, so it took a wound himself. But then he did a Smite and took 2 wounds off the Renegade Knight. So 17 wounds to go on the Renegade Knight. The Dreadnought fancies his chances there. And of course, up in the building here, the Centurions target the Knight. Right, the Centurions are going to kick this off, all guns at the Renegade Knight. So we're going to do Ion Shields, see if we get our command point back. No, we haven't got any back so far. It's really sad. So off you go then. These are the 6 las cannons, taking no prisoners. He's played Scions of Guilliman as well, and he's rerolling 1s. Doesn't need it in the end. 3s to wound, those were all hits. And he rerolls 1s because of the lieutenant. So what was that runaway dice? That was a 5, so that's good. So these are the rerolls, and he gets 5 in the end. So Ion Shields only gets 6 in the end, sorry. Ion Shields needing 4s to save. This might have been a losing battle, this one. Ooh, 3 go through. We don't want to command point. We don't want to waste any more command points on this. Or do we? I'll say that. It's 17 wounds left. We're going to let it go. 3d6 damage, go on. That's respectable, that's 10. He's got 7 wounds left.
Command point reroll that one.
He's got a command point reroll. And that's 6. Right, so that's went from 10 to 15, so there's 2 wounds left on this Renegade Knight. And he's very critical now. So he's going to see if he gets his command point back. And he does not, that's a 2. Alright, we're not done with him yet. There's still the Centurion missile, so 3d3 shots. And there's 2, 2 and a 1, so 5 shots. 3's to hit. And can't re-roll those 2s because he did play Signs of Guilliman. Right, so 2 hits and 4's to wound. And he's failed. Right, Hellblast is now going to have a turn, not overcharging. He thinks the basic shot's going to get it done. So 5 shots. Gets 3 hits. And needs 5s to wound. This is going all over the shop. And not a sausage. Right, up next to shoot at the Knight. Unusual choice. It was the aggressors. Fired twice. A lot of strength 4 shots coming in. Needed 6s to wound. Ended up with 4 wounds. We're going to need to save on 3s for the Knight. He fails only 1. He's got 1 wound left. He's teetering. He's on the edge. Right, so we've moved on to the all of the infantry up top here. They've fired into the bloodletters, and so did this Dreadnought. Decided with this Knight on 1 wound, he'll let someone else have a piece before he rolls up his sleeves and gets into combat. So they're all fired, everyone there fired at the bloodletters through that archway, killed 10 bloodletters, so there's only 10 left now. And there's still this repulsor to shoot, but first this lieutenant has opened up with his mastercrafted bolt rifle, and of course he's achieved a wound on the Knight, and he's only got 1 wound left. So I need to save on a 3. And he's failed it. So
Lieutenant rules.
So the lieutenant kills him. And does he explode in a 6? Come on. Oh, it doesn't explode.
Well done.
So the Knight goes down.
Medal.
Right, so the Ultramarines finish off the round with more firepower. So the repulsor, it's hitting on 4s now, but still it's enough to hurt. So 2 bloodletters die, and then only 2 wounds on the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought, actually, he's going to do his craze result on the 6, so he'll be able to fire. Nope, never works, so that was a 4. So that's the end of the Ultramarines' turn. It's devastating for the Black Legion. We're going to have to do a morale check for the bloodletters. Let's do this, because we've lost 12. If we get a 1, we might be able to get some back. Oh, we're good at rolling 1s. So we'll get D6 demons back. We'll get 5 back, cool. Right, turn 2 for the Black Legion. So we mean business here. It's really brutal stuff now. The bloodletters, they've ran out of the building, so they're not going to be able to charge, but they made good way underfoot there. And the Dreadnought, he's moved 8 inches. He's going to assault that Dread. You can see him just through the archway there, so he can assault this time. And the Terminators, they move forward. So the Terminator Sorcerer, again, he stayed still, and he's summoned this time, because he's unmarked, a Herald of Tzeentch. So he's decided that is the best way to go for this turn. And over here, the Havocs, they've moved up to the top of this building now, so they're going to shoot across the open way, probably at the Centurion Devastators. And then this unit gets out of the Rhino. We're going to look to charge up into the building, try and get our hands on some of those Primaris Marines, the tough fighters, those Primaris Marines. So we're going to have to try our hardest. So the 6 there, they got out the Rhino. And then, of course, the champion, he got out the Rhino as well. He's in the building. You can see him through the window. So he has the relic of the Talisman of Burning Blood, I think, where he can, I think that's what it's called, where you can run and charge still. So he went a little bit further, so he's under there, ready to spring and attack. And then from out of the skies come the Black Legion support, the reserve. So it's Harkin Worldclaimer and his Raptors. He's been claiming the arrival of Abaddon, and now it is upon us as the teleport homers crack in the air, and the smell of ozone goes across the battlefield, a flash of light, and in comes the Despoiler and the Bringers of Despair. So there he is, the man of the hour, the man himself. So he comes in with the Terminators, 10 of them, with an assortment of weapons, mostly melters, combi melters, and a squad of obliterators. Okay, so the Bringers of Despair arrived, and the Ultramarines are going to play Auspex scan, and they're going to do it with the Centurions because they are an infantry unit. So these arrive, they're within 12 of 2 of the Centurions, so the one at the back can't see, he's too far away from the ledge, and so there's las cannons galore here. So these are firing down, and it's a -1 to hit with the Auspex scan. So las cannons first, is it?
So forced to hit?
Forced to hit with the las cannons, and it's a resounding volley. Just devastating. 2s to wound with those las cannons. And reroll 1s because the lieutenant is there. And that's a full house, all 4. Okay, this is desperate. Invulnerable 5s to the rescue. Not quite, we've lost 3 Terminators. And now for the missiles, 2d3 missiles. Ooh, just 1 shot each. And these are hitting on 4s. Another shot. So that one's missed, and that one misses as well, because hitting on 4s with the Auspex scan. So we'll move on to the psychic phase. So the sorcerer, there he is, the Terminator sorcerer. He puts prescience on the Havoc squad, so they're +1 to hit, and then he warp times himself because he's the only one that can be warp timed. It's only short range 3, so he's on his way. He moves 5 and then advances 3, so he's in with the Terminators again. And the Changecaster, the newly arrived Changecaster, he has cast Smite. He's passed it. It wasn't denied onto these intercessors in this corner of the building, so it's D3 mortal wounds because we've already done the roll. 3 mortal wounds, so that's 1 dropped and 1 is bleeding. Shooting for the Black Legion, we're firing off all of our small arms shots here, trying to do as much damage as we can before we get onto the meatier stuff. So we fired off the Terminators with the plasma guns, and autocannon did nothing to this unit. The sorcerer fired in, did nothing. These fired up to the aggressors and did nothing, just cities of death. With the extra rules of being in cover, it's so hard to kill anything. But then we had this squad with heavy bolters and autocannon fired in, and we've finally killed 1, so that is down to a 3-man unit now. And then we'll have the champion, who's in the window there, and see him. He advanced, so he still gets to fire his melter gun, fired it at the dreadnought, hit, wounded, and only did 1 wound on the damage. And we don't want a command point reroll because we need to keep our command points. So we're going to move, oh yes, and over here, these shot into the Hellblasters and did nothing. And then we shot the Hellbrutes, 2 heavy flamers up into the windows, 7 wounds, but because of the hard cover they were saving on 2s and nobody dies. Just incredibly hard to dig these out when they're in hard cover. So now we're going to move on to the meaningful shooting. So we've got the las cannons from the Havocs over in the far corner there, and we've got these and the obliterators. So we're going to fire the Terminators off first, and they're going to fire all the melter guns up at the Centurions. Right, so we debated whether to do Veterans of the Long War with the melter guns, but we're not going to do it. So we're going to fire up at the Centurions. We're at a -1 because they're obscured, but we do have full rerolls because of Abaddon, because you can reroll all hit rolls, not just failed ones. So here we go. We've got 6 melter guns hitting on 4s. Please do well. Right, so we've missed 2, which is a good start, and then Abaddon rerolls. Right, that's pretty good. Right, we're wound on 3s against the Centurions. We need this. We need it. Right, that's good. That is good. 4. So the AP -4, but you're in hard cover, which is a +2. So essentially the AP -2. So you saved on 4s for the Centurions. And 3 go through. Okay, so it's damage time. The Centurions have 3 wounds each. We might be able to get the whole unit if we roll well here. So the first one takes 4 damage, 1 Centurion down. Second blast kills another Centurion, and the third, this could be the squad, kills the squad. Excellent work, Terminators. Okay, so with the 3 Centurions down, that was absolutely crucial because we didn't expect to kill them all. And if there was one straggler, the apothecary could start healing them back up, and they could be back in the game. So that is just that's just gone above and beyond for us. We even had the las cannons ready to shoot in on them in case there was a survivor to try and get them all. But now we've freed up our las cannons, so the las cannons can't see any of the vehicles. So we're going to shoot at the infiltrator squad. That's all we can really do with them. So we have prescience, but they are obscured. So we're back on 3s to hit with the las cannons. But we've hit them all. Something's changing now. We're absolutely getting our hits. 2s to wound. Right, there's 3 wounds. So the las cannon's AP -3, but you're in hard cover, so that's a +2. Essentially the AP -1, so you're saving on 4s. And that's a bad roll, right? So he's 3, been hit with the lasers. So the first damage, doesn't kill one. So that second shot will finish him off, and the third does 2 damage. So 2 infiltrators, the new squad, have been blasted. Right, going to move on to Abaddon. He's going to fire the Talon Horus into the repulsor, because this is toughness 8 as well. So we're going to just go after the tank. It's got 6 wounds left. Let's see if we can do a little bit of damage. We reroll. Okay, we've hit. Right, 6 is to wound, because it's toughness 8 against the Talon of Horus. We get 1 wound. It's AP -1, so he's saving on a 4. And he saves. So the Obliterators are going to fire into the Dreadnought first. We need to weaken him before our Hellbrute goes in. So we're going to fire them off, and we're going to see what the profile is. So it's going to be strength +2, so the strength 8, and the AP is only 1, and the damage is the important one, is only 1. Don't really want to be spending command points to reroll any of these. So okay, so we've got plenty of shots, but the only strength 8, damage 1, AP 1. I just need 2 more dice. Here we go. Right, 12 shots, hitting on 4s because he is 50%, and re-rolling because of Abaddon. That's good shooting from them. And then 4s to wound because of Might of Heroes. I should have really played Veterans of the Long War, but I forgot about it. Right, 4 wounds, and you're saving on 2s. So 4 wounds, saving on 2s because of that hard cover. And he saves them all. Right, so that was a bit of a blunder. Forgot to play Veterans of the Long War there. But we are going to play Endless Cacophony for the Obliterators. And we're going to fire at the Repulsor now. The Dreadnought's just too tough. We're only hoping to take off a few wounds, but that didn't happen. Right, so we'll fire again. Let's see if we get our command points back first, because our Sorcerer is still alive. We do not. I don't know if we've got one back yet. Needs more work, that Sorcerer. Right, so we'll do it all over again. So the strength is 8 + 3, so that's strength 9. AP -1, I'm not getting any better on the AP, but the damage, it's crucial, the damage is high, is only 1. So it's a poor version of a las cannon. Strength 9, 1 damage, 1 AP. Here we go then. So hitting on 3s because it's not obscured at all. Then we'll reroll because of Abaddon. Okay, lots of dice, lots of rerolls. 3s to wound because we're strength 9. It might be enough, even though we're only damage 1, because he's got 6 wounds left, and that is 7 wounds, and he's going to need to save on 4s. That's a good roll. He's only taken 1 wound. 5 wounds left on the Repulsor. It hasn't gone very well for the Obliterators. Right, so we're ending the shooting phase there. 5 wounds still left on the Repulsor. It's 1 away from being on its last damage bracket. So it's still in the fight, which is crucial for the Ultramarines. So we're going to go on to the assault phase now, the first of its kind in this game. So we're going to have the Hellblasters. They're going to fire at the Raptors because they're going to try and get in on a long charge. So here we go. They're not overcharging. They don't need to. 6 is to hit. And they do get 1 hit. And it's 3s to wound. And if it wounds, it kills. And it kills. So we've lost a Raptor. So here we go. We need a 9. We have high hopes. And that is terrible. 3. Okay, so we failed our charge there. So next up, we're going to have Harken World Claimer go in. So because it's a narrative game, got to get your lords in there. I wouldn't normally do this, but it's just for fun. So here we go. Overwatch. He's not overcharging. Gets 2 hits. Luckily, he wasn't overcharging there. He would have lost 2 of his own. 1 wound, and we've got an invulnerable 4 save. We do save. Right, let's see if he can get a big charge. Oh, he's in on a 9. So there we go, he's in. Didn't think that was going to happen. Alright, the Exalted Champion, he's charged up. It was a pretty short charge, he only has to go up into the Intercessors here, which is going to allow, so there's no Overwatch there because he came from out the shadows. It's going to allow this squad to go in on this squad without any Overwatch, but we're going to need a 7-inch charge to get there. And they get in on a 7. Right, so on a 7, just managed to get 2 up there, but the rest of the squad's going to have to stay down below. Right, the Terminators are going to try a long charge at everybody on top of the building there. We've already done the Overwatch, we haven't suffered any wounds, but we're going to need an 11 to get in there. No, so they don't charge. Right, more charges. The Hellbrute is going to go in on the Redemptor Dread, so he's going to Overwatch, see what he gets. So this is the Onslaught cannons, and he gets 4 hits from the Onslaught, 5s to wound, gets 1, and we get to save on a 4, which we save. And then more guns. Right, Stormbolters now, so 8 shots from them, nothing. And then the Icarus rocket pod for D3, only gets 1 shot, needs a 6, gets it, and it's strength 7, so you actually need a 4 to wound, doesn't wound. Actually you can reroll 1s because you're next to your lieutenant. He does get it. Right, it's AP -1, so we're saving on a 4 ourselves, which we do not, so that is pretty crucial. That's our 3rd wound, and it's crucial because if we roll a 6 we might go crazed at the end of this phase. So we're going to complete our charge, hopefully. Yep, there he goes, 6 inches, so he now goes in. Right, more charges. The Terminators are going to try and charge into the Dread. We're going to need a 9. That fails on a 6. So we could try and charge with Abaddon, but we don't want him to be left in the lurch. Let's try and charge with the Obliterators first. They need a 9. No. Right, so we're definitely not going to charge with Abaddon. We still need some bodyguards. Right, so that's the end of the charge phase. Let's see if we'll go crazed on a 6 with this Hellbrute. We do not. I almost forgot over here the Lieutenant. He's heroically intervened onto the Exalted Champion, so a bit of a fight of heroes there. Right, Hellbrute to fight. So he's got 5 attacks because he's got 2 power fists. He's hitting on 3s, and he gets 4 hits. Do we want to command point reroll that? Ooh, we need all the blows we can get. No, no, don't trust him. 3s to wound because he's strength 12. Oh no. Only 2. Command point reroll. I don't know. No, we're not. Because we need to save all command points in case Abaddon gets into any trouble. So 2 wounds there, you need to save on 6s, and each of those is 3 damage. Right, so he's taking 6 damage off those blows. He's already got 1 wound, so he's taken 7 wounds so far. So 6 wounds left on the Redemptor Dread. That means he's on his 2nd tier of damage, which means he's hitting on 4s, but he's still got that psychic power in play, giving him an extra attack. So he's hitting on 4s with 5 dice. And he gets all but 1. And he's strength 7 times 2. So he's actually wounded on 2s. This could be the end of the Hellbrute. I think he's bitten off more than we can chew. And 3 might do it, because he's wounded 3 times. So we're going to need to save on 6s, because that is our armor save off those big Redemptor fists. We don't get any. Right, so it's D6 damage unless he rolls a 111 or something. We are toast. Absolutely not. We are definitely dead. Let's see if we blow up in a spectacular fashion. Yes, we do. So it explodes. I had to quickly check. It's 3-inch blast radius, so it's only the Redemptor Dread who's going to feel the heat here. So D3 mortal wounds. It's the big 3. He's got 3 wounds left. Right, 3 wounds left on the Redemptor Dread, which means he's on his bottom bracket now, so he's hitting on 5s. So we're coming over to the next fight here, and it's going to be Harken World Claimer. So he's got 5 attacks. He looks pretty mean, but basically it's 5 attacks with a power claw. It's not all that impressive. So he's hitting on 2s, and he re-rolls, filled hit rolls, or just hit rolls should we say. So he's got all of them, but no Death of the False Emperor in there. We're hoping that he would generate more attacks. 4s to wound, and re-rolls because of his lightning claw. Right, so he's got 4 wounds there, AP -2, so 4 dice, need 5s to save. And 2 wounds, which is 1 Hellblaster killed. Okay, over here, the fight in the tower, we've got the Exalted Champion. He's going to fight first. We'll have to fight this Intercessor unit because we didn't declare a charge against that Lieutenant. Right, so here he goes. He's got 4 attacks, and he's hitting on 2s. And he gets them all. No Death of the False Emperor. And he's got a power axe. He's wounded on 3s, and he can re-roll, but he doesn't need to. So there's 4 wounds at AP -2, so save on 5s. Right, there's 2 wounds. That's another Intercessor down. Right, so now it's the basic Chaos Marine unit are going to fight. Only 2 of them can fight because we couldn't get our charge range long enough to get the whole squad in action, which is a real shame. So we're going to trust the Exalted Champion, the Aspiring Champion rather, with the chain axe. So he does get 2 hits, and there's a Death of the False Emperor. So you get 3 hits. This is looking good so far. So he's wound on 3s plus 1 strength, and because we're next to the Exalted Champion, we can reroll. Right, there's 3 wounds well done. AP -1, so saving on 4s on 3 dice. And he's killed an Intercessor. And now the last guy to fight, the Chainsword. 2 attacks. He gets a Death of the False Emperor, and he's missed that extra attack. Then he wounds on 4s. Rerolls because of the Exalted Champion. That's a cock die in the gutter. And he only gets 1 in the end, so need to save on a 3. And he saves. So the only guy left in there is the most dangerous guy. He's a Veteran Sergeant, and he's got a Gladius, so he's got 4 attacks. So he's just 1 guy, but he's got just as many attacks as those 2 Chaos Marines. Okay, so the Lieutenant is going to fight back now. He's going to fight the Exalted Champion. So he has 4 attacks, and he's hitting on 2s. So he gets them all, and he's wounded on 4s, and he can reroll 1s for himself. This is with a Power Sword. He can reroll that 1. And it's still a 1, right? So 2 wounds on the Exalted Champion. I have to save these on 6s. Nope, 2 wounds on the Exalted Champion. So 2 wounds left on the Exalted Champion, and the Veteran Sergeant, he turns around and he identifies the biggest target. So he's got all ambitions to kill this Exalted Champion, and he's got 4 attacks to do it with. So he's hitting on 3s, and he gets 1, 2 hits in the end. And then he's wounded on 4s, and he can reroll 1s because of the Lieutenant, but he doesn't need him. He's going to show him how it's done. He's going to cut him up with the Gladius on his belt. So if we get it to double failure here, he's dead. Oh, he's got 1 wound left. So that's that fight over. 1 wound left on the Exalted Champion, and it's fighting for the lives up there. Right, we're back over here for Harkin's turn to get hit. So there's 9 attacks with that squad. The Sergeant is still alive, so here we go. 3s to hit. So that's pretty good. Only 4 missed there. So there's 5 hits, and wounded on 4s. Gets 2. Right, Harkin needs to save on a 3. Oh, it takes 2 wounds. It's got 3 left. Right, so that's the end of Black Legion's turn. So Abaddon has came in, and he's made all the difference. So the big dent in the Ultramarine defense now. Okay, it's turn 3 for the Ultramarines. They took a bit of a kick in last turn, but they're going to stay aggressive, stay in the fight. So the Dreadnought takes a step to the left here. He's going to gun down whoever he can and then charge the demons, I've been told. And the infiltrators on the top there, they've shuffled down the building. They're still going to shoot over the edge there probably, but they are going to try and join in this combat here and just beat the Black Legion down off the top of that building. Abaddon and his squad are going to go untouched, it seems, because the repulsor is pulled back to this window to shoot under the bridge there and try and get the bloodletters in the distance. But that's not before he's deposited the straggling survivors of the Intercessor squad. So there's only 2 left there. The Ancient is alive, and the Captain has come out to deal with Harkin Worldclaimer. He's slid up on him from behind there. Because the Hellblasters, they've dropped out of the combat. Being Ultramarines, they can still fire at a -1, so these raptors look like they're going to get eradicated. And up top here, the apothecary just moves into the corner of the building, and then this lieutenant, he's going to play hide and seek, it looks like. Just need one person to remain alive by the time the battle ends, and the Ultramarines will secure this victory. Right, a brief psychic phase there. The Psyker tried to cast Might of Heroes onto the Repulsor, and he passed it, but then was swiftly denied with the Deny the Witch from the Sorcerer over here. Then tried Smite. The nearest unit would have been this tactical unit here, but only rolled 4. Didn't want to use a command point reroll to try and get those wounds in. He's trying to save them for dire moments. Okay, the ultra-range shooting phase. The Repulsor is firing the Kraken Fragstorm missiles at the Terminators and done a wound, but then all the other guns are at the Obliterators. So he's currently in his shooting, and he's hit with the last cannon, so we're going to try and have to save this on a 5. We do not, so it's D6 damage against that last cannon. And 5, so that's going to be 1 Obliterator dead. And then he's still got all the Onslaught cannons, so we're going to fire those off. So 1 Obliterator left, and we've got the weather 4 hits from the Onslaught cannon, so I say it on 3s. So it's hitting 2 wounds. Got a little... I think we've got 4 wounds actually, so we've got 2 wounds left. But we have got 1 wound to save from the missile, which we fail. So just to be clear, that was an Icarus rocket pod shot, so it's only 1 damage. So this has got 1 wound left as Obliterator, so took a bit of a kick in there. Right, the Ultramarines are firing again, devastating stuff. The aggressors, because they stood still, firing through the archway at the Bloodletters. So because the whole unit needs to be obscured to be a -1, we do not get that benefit. So it's really hard being the attacker getting any benefit for the city fight because our units are so large. So here we go. In the end, there's 21 wounds to try and save because these fire twice. Ugly stuff. So I need 5s for demon saves, and that is going to be the whole squad dead. I'm not even going to look through that. So it's a wipe out of the Bloodletters, and the shooting gallery continues. So the infiltrators are fired down into the Terminators. 1 wound, but again, remember city fight, if you're firing down something, it's an extra AP. So we need to save on a 3. And we do. Okay, so the Terminators are safe for now. We're going to move on to this here. So we've got pistols in the combat. So who's going to fire first?
So the lieutenant.
A lieutenant. He's going to fire straight into the face of the champion. He's only got 1 wound left, this champion, remember. So he's hit, needs a 4, doesn't wound. Right, 1 last chance to do it. This veteran sergeant is going to try a pistol at the exalted champion. He gets his hit, needs a 4, and he's failed the wound again. Wow. Right, we're coming over here. We've got the lieutenant. He did run, but he's got an assault, mastercrafted assault bolter. So he's going to fire 2 shots at Harkin Worldclaimer. So he's hitting on 5s because we are obscured, and he's on the move with an assault weapon. So 1 hit, needs a 4 to wound, and he doesn't do it. So that was dangerous because that's damage to that weapon. Right, Apothecary's up next in the top window. He's got an Absolver bull pistol, but he's missed. Right, the captain now, he's going to fire his Bullstone Gauntlet at Harkin. So it's basically a triple shot bull pistol. He hits with all of them because he hits on 2s and needs 4s to wound, of which he gets 0.
Destined to be hand to hand.
So Harkin feels that bounce off his back plate and turns around for a big showdown with this captain. Okay, so with the demise of the Bloodletters, the Dreadnought has decided to spin round. He's going to put all of his guns on this Obliterator with 1 wound left. So he's on the move with these heavy weapons, so he's hitting on 6s because he's so damaged. But all he needs is 1, so off he goes. 6s to hit, so, oh my god, look at that. 5 hits. And strength 5 versus toughness 5, he's going to need 4s to wound. This could be it, just straight away. And not 1.
Epic failure.
So he's going to have to rely on the Storm Bolters. These are hitting on 5s because they are on heavy weapons. So right. 3 hits, and these are going to have to wound on 5s because they're only strength 4. He does get 1. It always comes down to 1, doesn't it? Always, every time. So I'm going to need to save on a 2. Saves, right. Last
Rockets.
gun, rockets. So normally this would be hitting on a 7, but with Cities of Death, a 6 is always a hit. So D3 shots. So he's getting 2, and he needs 6s. And he's failed, so we've come through all that gunfire. Right, so the Obliterator is still going to come under fire because he's measured the ranges, and The Hellblasters are out of range all except one, so he's going to turn around with this guy and he's going to get a shot off at the Obliterator, and the rest of the Hellblasters are just going to fire at the Raptors. So there's no point in overcharging them because each shot is as good as a kill, especially here. So off you go, then one shot.
One shot.
Needs a 3, and he's failed, but he is within 6 of the stand-in Chapter Master.
Got to go for the Ultramarines dice.
And he's hit. Right, he's going to need a 3 to wound. He's wounded, right. Demon save. I don't think we've got one yet. We didn't get any Terminator ones.
I'll have them in your mouth.
Do it. Yay!
Oh, lucky ducky.
Alright, so the rest of the Hellblasters ready to fire. So there's 6 shots. They're not overcharging. So rerolls because of the stand-in Chapter Master. And all but 1. And then 3s to kill. No save. And luckily for the Raptors, he's failed 2, but 3 Raptors have died. Alright, the Librarian, sorry, he fired him with a pistol, missed. So it's down to the 2 Intercessors with bolt rifles, just going to try and polish this unit off. And rerolls to hit because of the stand-in Chapter Master, and then 4s to wound. 2 wounds, but this time we do have a save of 4. And we've made them both. Yay. Right, so the charge phase, the Captain is going to charge Harkin, so we're going to throw a Hell Spear at him. And we've missed. Right, over here, the Raptors are going to be charged by the Intercessors, so we're going to fire a Plasma Gun, not overcharged. And he's missed, and then we're going to throw a Crack Grenade from the Sergeant. Oh, that looked like a 6, but it's not, it's a 4. Alright, now that the Intercessors made the charge, the Hellblasters and the Ancient go in, so they really do not like the look of these Raptors. Okay, more charges. The Infiltrators, they've joined the fight over there. There's only 2 left, but they can still make use of their 5 attacks. And the Dreadnought, he's going to make a go of it. He's going to try and charge this last remaining Obliterator. So he's going to have to dance through the Overwatch. Let's see what happens. So the strength is 6 plus, that's a cock die. Oh, it's strength 9, so that's a plus 3. The AP is AP minus 1. And the damage is 1. So we can't get higher than AP minus 1 or damage 1. So we've learned something about these Obliterators today. So here we've got 6s to hit. We get 1. It's not going to kill the Dreadnought because he's got 3 wounds left, but we can re-roll with Abaddon. So there's 2 hits. Still, it's not going to kill him. So we need 3s to wound because it's strength 9. We do get 2. So he's in hard cover where he started his charge, and he's going to be saving on 2s. And he's passed them both. So he's going to need an 8-inch charge to get in there, which he does. So in he goes. Alright, so the Dreadnought goes in, and he's chosen to go around this side of him, staying out the way of Abaddon's heroic intervention. So no heroic intervention from Abaddon. Alright, so the Dreadnought's going to fight. He's got 4 attacks, and since he's in his damaged state, he's going to need 5s to hit this Obliterator. And gets 2. 2s to wound. Gets them both. Need to save on 5s. No, so the Obliterator has died. Squashed. Right, going to move on to the hero fight here. So the Captain is going to fight, and he's choosing to use his Power Sword against Harkin. So he's got 5 attacks, hits on 2s. And he gets them all, and then he's wounded on 4s because he's elected with the Power Sword, and he gets 3, so we need to save on invulnerable 4 saves, which we make 2 and only fail 1, so he's got 1 wound left, Harkin, so he will get the fight back when his time comes. Right, we've moved on to this combat. We've fought the Hellblasters and the Intercessors, 5 wounds to save, so we've lost 1. So we've got the Raptor Sergeant left, but the Ancient is still yet to fight. Right, so the Ancient fights and doesn't get any wounds, so the Raptor Champion still lives. Right, now moving over to this charge over here. So the Infiltrators have attacked the basic squad and have achieved 2 wounds, so we need to save on 3s. So no, we've taken a wound, so we'll take it off the bottom squad, the guys who aren't even in the fight. Right, so it's on to ongoing fights now. So all the charges have fought, and he's going to elect to fight the lieutenant first with the power sword. So 4 attacks, only actually achieve 1 wound, and it's all over for the Exalted Champion. So he needs 4s to wound now, and he gets 2. So we need a double 6, or else this guy perishes. Not even 1 6. So he is dead, the Exalted Champion. No more rerolls for wounds anymore. Okay, so the chain axe attacks back, achieves a wound, but the chain sword doesn't. So just 1 to save with the chain sword on the veteran sergeant we're attacking. Needs a 4 to save, and he's taken a wound. Right, moved on to this fight, and the raptor swung with his sword and completely missed, so didn't do anything. Harkin now is fighting the captain, and he's hit, and he's got a Death of the False Emperor in there, and he's hit with them all. Nice. Okay, he needs 5s to wound because he's only got a measly power claw. It's not even a mastercrafted one, but we can reroll wound rolls. Okay, 3 wounds, and he's got the Santic Halo, so he's saving on 3s anyway, so 3 to save on 3. He takes a single wound. That's a leadership test. If I roll a 6, he runs away. No, he's okay. Okay, that's the end of turn 3 for the Ultramarines. Another good showing for the Black Legion. They're just absolutely going through wither and firepower, but they march on still. The Ultramarines are just dishing it out in spades here. Right, it's turn 3 for the Black Legion. The Black March continues. So the Terminators, they've got a good run. They ran 6. So Terminators moved 5, so we went 11 inches of being able to catch up with the Repulsor, and we're in melter range with some of them, so we're going to try and blast that. And we've just ignored the Dreadnought. We're just going to move on. Abaddon only rolled 1 inch for his run, so he's slow, perhaps got caught in his cape there, but he's on his way. It's turn 3. Can he get there in time to actually do something? Only time will tell. So these two in the combat stay put. Just going to try and fight till we're dead. The Rhino just booms up the street a little bit, and over here the fight continues. We can't get these up to fight. It's a really, well, hopefully this gets fixed in the future rules, but we can't consolidate 3 up and pile in 3 and whatnot, because it's a 5-inch thing and we just can't get there, so we can't get to the top at all. We're just stood at the bottom just shouting, what's going on up there? Chances are we'll never know. So anyway, that fight continues with them. The Terminators, they move to the wall. They're going to try and join in this combat if they can get a long charge, but we're going to try and shoot some shots off into the back of the Dreadnought. It's got 3 wounds left. It's plausible. We've got some combi plasmas there. Got this unit in the building, still in there, dug in, firing away. Hopefully they can get some stuff done. And then the last cannon Havoc squad, they've moved from this little building here. They've gone down because we can't get any lines of sight anymore, because the shootout with the Obliterators, or the Centurions in that building in the distance, is over now. So we've got to hunt some targets. So they've got lines of sight to the Dreadnought in the distance, but it is obscured. Alright, so these 2 characters, they stayed still, and that is because, once again, summoning demons, will absolutely need them to continue the battle here. So the Herald has summoned a Burning Chariot, and the Unmarked Sorcerer has summoned a Skull Cannon. Right, then we'll move on to Psychic Phase, and it was brief. The Changecaster, he tries to smite this unit in the building here, and it's denied from the Librarian just round there. And then we'll move on to the Sorcerer. He tries to smite in the building, and he fails to get that off, and then he does Prescience on the Havocs and fails that too, so we've just totally failed on the Psychic front. We're starting the shooting phase with a few pistols in combat. So this Raptor, he shot this Intercessor squad. He's already got a wound, so if he fails this save, he's going to lose an Intercessor, so it needs a 3. And he saves. And then we had a pistol up here. We had a plasma pistol at this Intercessor and didn't wound, but we did wound with a bolt pistol here. So again, same situation. If he fails it, he's dead because he's already got a wound, and he saves. Right, we're over here now. We're going to try and kill this Dreadnought. He's got 3 wounds left, and we've put in a good showing from this squad in here. The 6 4 guys left. So we fired rapid fire bolters, 6 shots, 3 wounds, and because we're up a height, firing down the AP -1. So saving on 4s for the Dreadnought. Right, he's taken 2 wounds, he's got 1 wound left, and guess what? We're hit and wounded twice with the auto cannon, and he's got normally AP -1, but again, because we're up a height firing down, it's AP -2, so you need to save 2 of these on 5s, otherwise the Dreadnought is kaput, and it's kaput. Doesn't matter if it explodes, there's no one around. Right, well I did set up the Havocs to shoot that Dreadnought, but he's gone, so we're going to fire through all of the buildings we can see with 3 Havocs on this repulsor, so he's got all the benefits of the cover going for him here. So we're hitting on 4s, and we've hit twice, using blue dice as a taboo there. So 3's to wound with the last cannons. We get 2 wounds, right, so the AP -3, but you are really entrenched in cover there, so it's AP -1, 4's to save, 1 fails. You've got 2 command points. Do you want to try and command point reroll?
No, it's okay.
So no, so he's going to take the damage. He's got 5 wounds left. The damage is D6, only a 2, so he's got 3 wounds left. Right, the Terminators, we did plan on shooting those at the Dreadnought, but with that success we're going to, well, we fired up at the aggressors here. All the plasma guns missed, but we did get 3 wounds with the Reaper auto cannon, but because they're in cover they're saving on 2s anyway. So 3 to save on 2s. And we've done a wound. Right, we're going to move on to the Terminators now. So we've got 3 melter guns in double dice range, 3 at long range. So we're going to do the 3 close ones first. We're hitting on 4s because we advanced, and we re-roll because of Abaddon. Right, so we've got 2 wounds, and we need to wound on 4s because we did deny the Mighty Heroes business. So we do get 1 wound, and it goes straight through the armour at AP -4. So it's got 3 wounds left. Can we do it with the melter gun? Get it? Yes, we've done it. No, we haven't. We've got to pick the best of 2, and we still haven't done it. He's got 1 wound left. I really thought that was sewn up there. 1 wound left, and then we've got 3 long range ones now. Come on. Reroll because of Abaddon, and then 4's to wound. Let's do it. 2. Right, we've definitely killed it. Doesn't matter what we're rolling the damage. The repulsor is no more. Does it blow up? No. Right, next up we're going to have Abaddon. He's going to fire into the aggressors. So he's got 4 shots because he's a Terminator, and he hits them all because these are not obscured, but they are in cover. So we need 5's to wound. We get 2, so it's AP -1, but you're in heavy cover, so you're saving on 2 anyway, and he saves them both. Okay, we're going to move on to the summoned unit. So we've got the Skull Cannon. It's going to fire up at the aggressors. This Skull Cannon ignores cover, just like the days of old. So its profile is basically a battle cannon. So it's D6 shots. We're getting 3 shots. It's a heavy weapon, and the class is moving because we've just arrived. So we're hitting on 4s in the end because they have a better ability skill than normal demons, and we've missed anyway. A lot of explanation, not much action. So we're going to move on to the Burden Chariot, and he's got a heavy 3 weapon, and he's going to fire that at the aggressors. And he's hit once, which is good. And it's strength 9, so we're needing 3 to wound. Oh, we haven't done it. Right, so we've finished off with firing the Rhino, and he didn't do anything. So charges, Abaddon and his Bad Bunch can't charge because of advanced, and well, I do have the Terminators primed and ready to go, so we're going to charge all the units up there. They're already locked in combat, so they can't overwatch. Let's see what we'll get. A 5 is not going to cut. Right, we're going to command point reroll this too. I just can't live with that. Oh, thank you, Doc Gods. So it's a 9-inch charge. Let's see if I get me command point back. We've been trying to hoard these for Abaddon purposes, and we do not get that bar to 2. I haven't got any bar this game, I don't think. Right, so there we go, 9-inch charge. We get up onto the building. We finally got reinforcements for that unlucky squad that's got 3 trapped down there, and hopefully we can get some stuff done up there. Right, so we're going to fight now, and to help us out we're going to do merciless fighters. We're just going to let our command points go now. We've held them and it's worked against us. So it's a new stratagem out of the Vigilus Ablaze book. I outnumber the models up here with the Terminators, so we're going to play it 1 command point, and we get an extra attack for each squaddy. So let's see if we get our command point back as a token gesture. We do not. Right, so for this fight up here we're going to have the champion with the lightning claws fight the captain Also going to have the chain fist fight the captain. He's not captain, he's a lieutenant. And then these two are going to fight the infiltrators, and he is going to fight this sergeant here. So onto the lieutenant. He's the lightning claws. Got an extra attack because of the merciless fighters. So we only hit once, but it's Death of the False Emperor. And we hit again. Right, we need 4s to wound. And we reroll because of lightning claws. Just 2 wounds on him. Okay, 2 attacks go through, so he needs to save on 5s at AP -2. And he's taken 2 wounds. Right, we've got the what's it called? Chain fist now to try and clobber him from behind. We get 1 hit. 2s to wound. Oh, don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's a 1. That's all I need to kill him, I think. Right, moving on. He's actually got 3 wounds left, this lieutenant. So we're going to have power axe against this 1 wound veteran sergeant, and we get a Death of the False Emperor in there. So he can hit. Can he wound? 3s. And he gets 3 wounds, so 7 on 5s against the power axe. If 1 slips through, he's dead, and he is dead. Okay, then the other 2 Terminators with power axes against the infiltrator units. 6 attacks for these with the stratagem in play. No Death of the False Emperor this time. 3s to wound. And we got 4 wounds, and you need to save on 5s. If you fail all these, that's the squad. And that is the squad. That's cocked, so give that a reroll. And okay, so 1 dies, 1's left with a wound. Okay, ongoing fights now. So Harkin Wellclaimer, we're going to choose him to fight first because he's the most precious against the captain. Stand-in chapter master. So we get a Death of the False Emperor and all hit. Now the hard part, 5s to wound. Reroll because of the lightning claw. 3 wounds. So Santa Kalo, 7 on 3s. Wish it was 6. He takes another wound, so he's got 4 wounds left. I'm just going to rewind, forgot to do it, but the Rhino is charging in around this librarian because we're just trying to block him off a bit. We've done our attacks and missed every single one. Okay, so the lieutenant is going to be triggered to fight next. He wants to fight before this infantry squad gets to, so 4 attacks. He gets all but 1, and he needs 4s to wound. He's got a power sword. He gets to reroll that 1 because of his own ability, and he gets 2 wounds in the end. We need to save on 6s. We save 1, fail another, so we're going to take another straggler down here. Right, the Ultramarines now fight over here and kill that straggling raptor. So we're going to go over here because it's significant. We're going to try and kill off that lieutenant. So we've got the aspiring champion and his mate to fight. So we've got 2 attacks with the chain axe. First, we get 2 hits, 3 to wound. Get 2 wounds, saving on 4s because it's AP -1. So he's taken another wound, he's got 2 wounds left. And can we do it with a chainsword? The humble chainsword. Whoa, he's got 2 Death of the False Emperors. And he gets an extra hit. 4s to wound, come on. 1 wound, needs to save on 3. And he gets it on a 6. Right, we did this combat over here, the librarian attacked back, didn't do anything. And now it's the big fight. The captain is going to try and slay Harkin. Using his sword again. And he gets to reroll those 1s. So he gets 4 and needs 4s to wound. Only gets 1, so might have wished to use the power fist now. So I need to save on a 4, otherwise it's over for him. He saves. Woo. Right, that is the end of Black Legion turn 3. It's touch and go now. They're starting to gain ground and starting to close in on this Ultramarines little fallback area. The fight still goes on in those buildings. It's a tough old fight up there. And then there's these 2 characters, don't forget, over here, just sneakily hiding themselves away from trouble. They might be the ones to watch to see this as a victory for the Ultramarines. Ultramarines turn 4 now. They feel that they're on the good side of the clock. The game could end at the end of turn 5. Still a lot of bodies to chew through, and they're still putting up a good defence. So the Librarian's going to stay in combat. The Hellblasters, now they've dealt with the Raptors, are going to deal with the Terminators. They're in rapid fire range. It's scary stuff. The colours still fly at the base of the battlefield. And the captain peels off the combat. He's just had enough of that. And the last 2 intercessors, they're going to run into the corner. They're going to try and escape. And again, like we said before, the 2 characters here just going to try and stay out of trouble. And the fight goes on in the buildings. And a brief psychic phase. The Psyker fails Mighty Heroes on himself and then is denied a smite. Right, it's shooting phase, and it's going to be a very unglorious end for Harkin, I feel. The captain is going to fire his Boltstone Gauntlet into him because he's an Ultramarine. He's going to hit on 3s out of combat. And he's hit the wall and 4s to wound. And he gets 2 wounds. So 7 on 3s. It would be like this, wouldn't it? Fight bravely and heroically in combat, and then he just steps back and blows him away. Oh, he survives. The armour, ancient armour, holds up. Right, the Lieutenant is now going to shoot at Harkin. He is closer to Harkin than he is to Terminators. He's obscured, so he's at a -1, so he's hitting on 4s. Gets 2 hits, 4s to wound. And there's 1. We need to save on a 3. In fact 2, because we're behind cover. And we save. Right, the Ancient, he's going to try and pick up the slack. He's going to fire through the gap at Harkin. See if we can finish him off. So 2 shots. He does get his hits. 4s to wound. And he's filled. Ooh. Right, so a blaze of gunfire from the aggressors firing twice again because they stayed still at the Terminators. And because they're up a height firing down, it's AP -1. It's absolutely eye-watering. But 13 wounds in the end, not as bad as it could have been, and we're going to have to save on 3s against the Terminators, and that's a bad roll even if they didn't have any AP. So there's 4 wounds, so a Terminator's already got a wound, so there's 1 dead, another 1 dead and a half. Alright, Hellblaster's next. It's serious firepower, so he's going to fire 1 at Harkin Worldclaimer because he is nearer than the Rhino, and the rest, the other 3 the squad, are going to overcharge at the Terminators. He's got his banner on hand to stand back up when he kills himself. So the one that isn't overcharged at Harkin needs 3s, gets them both, doesn't need the captain's reroll, and 3s to wound, gets them both, and need a save of 4. And Harkin finally crumples to the floor. A smouldering plasma shot goes straight through his chest, and he speaks no more. Right. 6 overcharged shots, so you have to do these 2 at a time because they can't kill themselves.
Sergeant.
Okay, Sarge. He's okay when he gets 2 hits. Next bodge.
Oh, I was going to roll a wound.
Okay, so just do the hits all together. And he gets a reroll that because the captain, chapter master, is on hand, and he hits. So no overheat so far. And last one. And they all hit, so every single one a hit. So 2s to wound against the Terminators because they're not too tough. And just like that, 6 wounds on the Terminators, and we're going to have to save on our invulnerable 5s. We've only got 5 left, so this could be a wipeout. It probably will be a wipeout. Oh, not quite. We've got 1 man standing. Okay, then we finish up the shooting phase with 2 pistols in combat that don't do anything. So the Lieutenant and the last surviving member, the Sergeant of the Infiltrators. This is a debut unit for these, and they survived this long. This is uncanny, but don't kill anything. And then the Librarian fires his pistol, doesn't do anything to the Rhino. So it's now time for fights. So the only combat is going on in this building. Right, so the Lieutenant is going to fight the Marine squad
in power armor.
In power armor. So he's got 3 hits, 4s to wound. And he rerolls at 1 because he's a Lieutenant.
Oh yes, he does.
Alright, that's a good swipe from him. Let's see how many he cuts down. 6s to save, he's cut down 3. So somehow his sword flies down here, kills these 2, and then kills the last remaining bodge. But the Sergeant still lives. So we've got the Terminators fighting back. These 2 Terminators are going to fight this wounded Infiltrator. and then the rest of them are going to fight the lieutenant. So we have 4 attacks from power axes onto this infiltrator. So we go 3s to hit, and death of false emperor. Ooh, lovely. 3s to wound. We get 2, so you need 2 5s or he's toast. And he gets 1, but that is the sergeant dead. Right, I'm going to continue the flurry. It's time for the lightning claws, aspiring champion of the Terminators, and he gets 2 death to the false emperors. Oh, look at that. They've got the backs up now. 4s to wound. Reroll because of lightning claws. Oh, look at that. 5 wounds. He's got 2 wounds left, the lieutenant, and he saves on 5s. And he's dead to wipe out.
Glorious end, though.
In the building. What a battle that was in there. Okay, and we finished the fighting turn with the Rhino and the Librarian. Librarian doesn't do anything to the Rhino, but the Rhino runs over his foot and causes a wound.
Oh.
It's turn 4 for the Black Legion. Abaddon feels like he's got enough and he doesn't need to make any more pacts with the demons to see the day through. So he's sent his men in, drips and drabs, feel that the hand is slowly going to close around the Ultramarines' throat now. So this Terminator, he runs this way, only gets a short run. He's going after this lieutenant. He can see him. He's going to fire a melter gun at him. Abaddon moves forward. He's going to try a charge on this Librarian because the Rhino is peeled off and is creating a distraction so the War Master can get through. So the Burning Chariot goes down the street and he's going to try and burn out some Ultramarines. The Changecaster and the Sorcerer, they move down as well. Going to try some smite on the aggressors, that's what they're called. Up here they're going to stay still in case the aggressors still stand. We're going to just fire into them, try and see them through. And then this squad that was here have moved up to the top level, so they're going to shoot down on the aggressors. We've been having a hard time killing the aggressors, so now it's all hands at the pump. And this Havoc squad with the las cannons, they've moved out of the building. They've got a clean line of sight on the 2 stragglers over here, so we're going to try and pop these off. And then it's going to be a last stand in the centre for the Ultramarines, hopefully. Another brief psychic phase, we smote the aggressors and killed one, and then he tried to smite and it was denied from the Librarian, and then we tried warp time on ourselves and we failed that as well, so it's a dead zone for psychic powers. Okay, we're going to have the Havocs. You can just see them in the distance next to the skull cannon. Going to fire all the way down here at the intercessors just here, see if we can peg them off because they're trying to escape. So we can move and shoot with Havocs without any penalties. So here we go, 3s to hit. And 3, is that 3? Yes, it's a 3. Okay, 3 hits, 2s to wound. Oh, 2. This could be efficient, so you need saves of 6. There we go. Oh, 1 survives. So one of them's already got a wound, so one of them's dead. So the sergeant still stands. Okay, we had Abaddon fire up at the aggressors, no damage. And we're going to turn to the skull cannon now to fire up at the aggressors. We need this to work. So D6 shots, it did stay still, we're only getting 1 shot. Oh, here we go then. So it needs a 3 to hit. He does get a hit, it's 3s to wound. Oh, doesn't get a wound. Should have summoned something better. So we're still pouring in fire onto the aggressors now. So we had this squad up top fired down, didn't do anything. So we moved on to the Terminators. So they fired the Reaper autocannon and killed one. Wow, big licks. And then we fired the plasma guns on overcharge. We've killed ourselves on 1 Terminator, but we have achieved 3 wounds. So at AP -3, and you've got a +2 for your cover save. You're saving on 4s. Each of these is 2 damage. Could be a dead aggressor, but it's not. It saves them all. Alright, we're going to move on to this guy with a plasma pistol. He's had a hard life, and he's going to overcharge his plasma pistol. Let's see if it gets any harder for him. So he needs a hit on a 3. He does hit, needs a wound on a 3, and he doesn't wound. Okay, we've had enough of firing at the aggressor. We've just had our fill completely. We just can't kill him, he's just too impossible. So we're going to fire the Burning Chariot down at this straggler sergeant. We didn't think he would be there, but we can't allow him to escape into the cover and never be seen again. So we're going to fire the Burning Chariot, we're going to fire the pink flame, I think, the heavy shot. Or was it the blue flame? I can't remember. So it's heavy 3, needing 4s to hit. All hit, needs 2s to wound because it's strength 9. He gets them all and it's AP -4, so it doesn't matter what we roll on the damage, we've killed that intercessor, so we're just not allowing any to escape. So he is gone. Okay, this is the last shot of the turn. This Terminator is going to fire his combi melter into this lieutenant, see if we can just kill him in one shot. We need a 4. We've missed. So straight onto the assault phase, we're going to have the Burning Chariot go in on the librarian. He's already survived the Overwatch, and that goes in 9. So Abaddon now, he needs a 6-inch charge to get on this librarian. Come on. Gets it. Good, good. Right, so this is the only combat that's going on, so of course Abaddon will strike first. He's going to use the Talon Horrors first. So he's got 6 attacks, and that is a whopping amount of attacks he can reroll. He still misses, but with his Warlord trait, he gets Death of the False Emperor on 5s and 6s, so that's another 5 hits to roll for. He's going to brutalise this librarian and make an example out of him. 2s to wound. Goodbye, librarian. And he's totally dead. It's AP -4. Each of these is D3 damage. The librarian has just been torn to shreds. So that is the end of the Black Legion's turn 4. And Abaddon is nice. So close. So close. Okay, it's Ultramarine turn 5 and they're really pushed here now. There's not a lot of places that can go. Abaddon is right on the doorstep now. Thought about going to the right, but they would have to weather a turn in the open, and the las cannons are down there. They don't want to do that. They can't really move to the left all that much, so they're just going to stand there and fight and allow possibly these 2 characters to live on. So the Apothecary is going to be hard. The Black Legion have got some long range firepower in the buildings that could target them if all of the Ultramarines go down there. And of course, right in the corner here, we've got the last lieutenant in the corner, a long way away from the Terminator. So those 2 are the aces in the hole, or in the corner rather, and it's going to be a valiant stand from the Ultramarines here. The Ultramarines started shooting with the aggressor in the corner of the building here. He would have loved to target Abaddon, but the chariot is too close, so you can't target Abaddon. Abaddon's been crafty there. So instead he's supplying cover and fire for these models in the corner down at the Terminator, so he's achieved 6 wounds, and these are AP -1 because he's on upper height, a level above. So 3s to save this Terminator. He takes a single wound, and then of course we've grouped together a shot from the captain as well, and he achieved a wound, so we need to save on a 2. Right, he's still alive, 1 wound left. So with the Terminator having a wound left, he's fired the Ancient at the Terminator and caused 2 wounds. We do have the benefit of cover there, so it's going to ignore the AP, so we're saving on 2s again. The Terminator lives. Okay, more shots at the Terminator. He's decided to do it like this because he can't target Abaddon, and the Rhino isn't the threat. The threat is the Burning Chariot because it's fast and it can get over there and kill those characters. So he's put 3 Hellblasters overcharged on the Burning Chariot, and this 1 Hellblaster is trying to pick off that Terminator. So we've already done the shooting, so it's 5 wounds on the Chariot. We're going to have to save on 4s. These were overcharged. And we failed 2, so he's taken 4 wounds. He's got 8 wounds to Chariot, so he's halfway dead. And the Terminator, over there, he took a wound. It wasn't overcharged, but it doesn't really matter, because he's only got 1 wound left, and he needs to save on a 5. Nope, the Terminator is dead. He got his man. Right, that is the end of Ultramarines turn 5. Really desperate. They don't want to do any charges. They don't want to give up their lives. They want to try and draw them out and sell their lives dearly. It's turn 5 for the Black Legion. The battle is almost over. Can Abaddon marshal his forces to do enough in time? So the Havocs, they've moved forward we've got las cannons. We're going to try and take out this stubborn aggressor once and for all. We've got our sorcerers ready to smite him out of his tree if needs be. We've tried before 3 times and it didn't work, so hopefully it'll work this time. And that's about it for movement over here. Abaddon's took a step to the right here. He's going to try and avoid the Hellblasters. They try to screen out as best they could and protect the captain, but the Rhino's moved away. He's come all the way around this side, and Abaddon's moved to the left. He's going to try and get a charge in on just everybody to get a taste of Drachnian. And then this doesn't degrade the Burning Chariot, so it's still going 14, and it flies, so it swoops overhead of everything, and it's looking at the targets. This lieutenant in the corner, this apothecary, he's not a librarian, he's safe from just about everything, but this autocannon up here, that's the only thing that I can see him, because he's so far back off the building. This guy could be the one who takes it home for the Ultramarines. Okay, we'll start with the sorcerer first. He's going to smite the aggressor in the tree, and that comes off, D3 damage. This has got to be it. We've got him, finally. Alright, now we're going to try and warp time these Terminators. They've got a really good advance. They're all a 6, so they're down there. We're trying to get them over to that building where the apothecary is as fast as possible. So let's try warp time. That's not going to come off on a 2, and when I say 2, I mean 3. Right, next up we'll fire the skull cannon all the way down there at the Hellblasters. We've killed one, but we can only see one. But this is dangerous because he's already dead because it ignored cover. He failed his save. He might fire with the banner if he chooses to take one of these two, which I think he is. He's going to choose the end one. He's nodding, and you can shoot at Abaddon. So on a 3+, because of the banner of the Emperor Ascendant. Okay, so he's dead, but he's going to get to shoot. So Abaddon through the cover. Let's take this away. So Abaddon through the cover, he's actually going to be hitting on 4s because I am obscured. So he's failed to hit, but you can reroll because of the Chapter Master. So he's hit with both of them, and you need Abaddon's toughness 5, so you need 3s to wound. He gets both those wounds, so Abaddon is going to have to save on his invulnerable 4, otherwise some significant damage. He saved one, saves the other. Right, Abaddon's going to try his luck now. He's going to fire his Talon Horus at the Hellblasters, see if we can kill some more and take our chances on the banner. So we've hit them all, and then we're wounding on 4s, of which we get 2, so it's AP -1, so he's saving on 4s. He's filled them both, and that's D3 damage each. So the first one is damage 1, and then the second shot will kill him. So that's another gun. The conundrum is, if he takes this one, Abaddon will get an easier charge on these. Okay, so he's actually chosen to kill the sergeant that was just there. The reason is because if he gets to stand up, he'll be able to shoot round the cover, and Abaddon won't be obscured. So let's see if he gets up on a 3 with a banner. He does get up, and that's 2 shots at Abaddon in his death throws. So, yeah, just reroll that one. He gets 2 hits, right. Again, they're overcharged in death, so 3s to wound. He gets 1 wound. Abaddon, invulnerable save on a 4. He gets it. He's blessed. Right, we've tried some shots from the Terminators, the 2 plasma guns, because we're Black Legion, we can fire on the run. Fired 2 overcharged plasma guns, but didn't kill ourselves, but he got his save of a 6 on the Hellblasters, so they do not die. And then we've just realised the Chariot can't shoot into the corner because he's not the nearest. The Hellblasters still stand, and they are the nearest, so we're going to fire our heavy shot at them, so we need 4s to hit, and we get all 3, excuse me, and then 2s to wound because we're strength 9. Oh, that's all of them, and there's no save because it's AP -4, so it's D3 damage each time. So the first one kills one, and then the other 2 shots will kill the other no matter what we roll. So they are both dead. That's going to see if they stand up again on the banner. We're going to do them separately, because if it's this one, he'll be at a -1 because he's obscured to Abaddon. This one is in the clear, so do the one that's obscured. He does not stand back up. What about the one who's got a clean shot? He will stand up, and he's going to shoot 2 shots, 3s to hit. He gets 1, and he can re-roll because of the captain, which he does get a hit, and then wounds on 3s for Abaddon. Only gets 1, and can Abaddon pull out another invulnerable save? No, Abaddon's taking 2 damage. So 2 damage for Abaddon, but it's rounded down to 1 because of his Dark Destiny rule, because he halves damage rounded up, so he's actually only taken 1 wound in the end. Almost forgot about that rule. And these Hellblasters are dead now, so there's a clear run in on these 2 characters. Alright, and last for the shooting phase, we've got the autocannon up top here. He's going to fire right down. He's a level above this Apothecary and he can see him, so we are needing 3s to hit. We only get 1 hit, we're needing 3s to wound. We do get a wound, and it's AP minus 2, so that's going to put you back on your normal save because you're in hardcover, which he does save. So the Apothecary saving 2. So we can actually do a charge here. We're going to do the Burning Chariot into the Lieutenant into the corner. We need a 10 on the dice, but he needs to do his Overwatch first, and he could actually kill it. So with his Mastercrafted Rifle, but he's not going to do it. He's missed. Right, so we need a 10, which you don't get. Alright, we've got the big charges over here. So we had the Rhino going first, just sucked up the Overwatch from the Ancient, didn't do any damage, and Abaddon's just took the Overwatch from the Captain, easy peasy. So Abaddon's declared a charge against them both, and it's only a 5-inch charge for him. And he gets in on a 8, and he gets in contact with them both. So doom is upon these Ultramarines. So let's not forget he's got the Santic Halo. That's an invulnerable 3 save that very well may keep him alive. Right, we're going to do our attacks like this. We're going to do all Talon of Horus attacks. Oh no, we're going to do 5 Talon of Horus attacks on the Captain, 1 Talon of Horus attack on the Ancient, and then we're going to see how many shots we get from Draconian. How many attacks? Oh my, the full 6. So let's put 2 hits of Draconian onto the Ancient, and then the rest onto the Captain. So let's see if we can polish off the Ancient first. So we've got 1 hit from the Talon of Horus, which does hit, and then 2's to wound. We get him, it's AP minus 4, so that just almost tears him in half. Let's see how bad the damage is. 3, it does almost tear him in half. He's got 1 wound left, the Ancient, and then we've got 2 attacks from Draconian at him. And that's a death to the False Emperor on a 6. Okay, we get them all. 3's to wound. Right, that is bad news. So 2 wounds, and it is only AP minus 3, so you can actually save these on a 6. And he doesn't, so the Ancient falls. Let's see if he gets back up on a 3. There you go. He does get back up, and he's going to make an attack, but we'll come back to that because I doubt he's going to hurt Abaddon. We'll just keep the ball rolling because this is quite complex. Right, so let's resolve the rest of the attacks. So we've got 5 attacks from the Talon at the Captain. Rerolls to hit. Okay, he's got a hit there, and it's a death to the False Emperor. Okay, sweet. It's strength 5 times 2, so he's strength 10. He's doubling out the Captain, so 2's to wound. And he has got all 6, so you're going to need 6 dice and your invulnerable saves of 3 to the rescue. Here we go. He's failed only 2, right? This is damage D3 each. He's got 4 wounds left, this Captain. Let's see if we can just do him in. He's done in. Absolutely done in. Right, so we've got the single attack from the Ancient still yet to resolve, so he's hitting on 4s and he's missed anyway. So he's missed. He's cut in half by the Talon. That's slain better men than the Ancient. So we've got Abaddon is triumphant. That's pretty standard given what he's like these days. He's absolutely deadly. So the Ultramarines still have 2 characters in the corners here. And the Black Legion stuff is all the way back here. So we've got a long way to go. We can't actually see those models, so it's just these 2 units that are really going to do the damage to these 2. So we've got the Burning Chariot. That's got the fly keyword. It can get up the top, and Abaddon could be quite fast. I think we might have 1 turn to be able to do it. Alright, so it's the end of the Black Legion's turn. smashed through the Ultramarines' defences. Finally, it was really stubborn and really hard work. On a 3+, the game will continue and try and lead us to the ultimate victory. Oh, it's 2. So the game is finished. So Abaddon will now turn his eye to more clandestine plans over at the Verlian Swirl, and he'd never quite eradicated the Ultramarines in the Heartlands, but he did make them suffer, and he does take a lot of pride in that. And the Ultramarines, still reeling from the downing of their Chapter Master Manius Calgar, they will regroup and come back, but Manius has handed off the reins of power for the moment until he gets better to the Crimson Fist Pedro Cantor, so they will pick up the war effort with the combined efforts of the Ultramarines and others, and the war for Vigilus will continue.